Hello, everyone. It's really nice to be back on The Real Conversation with Sanmi. It's been a long time, and I'm so happy to be here. Today, we will be talking about relationship over religion. Relationship over religion. I was born into a Christian home where my father was a pastor. And he did amazingly well in the ministry. I was taught from a very tender age how to, pray, to sing. My father was a good singer. He could dance. We prayed in the morning. We did morning altar. We had people come into the home. We had a separate room called prayer room for people to come in and just pray. We were taught to fast and everything. So, yes, I know about religion, right? But of course, as I went by, growing up on my own, I had to live in the dormitory while in high school. And then I went into college. I went to college, at a different state. I had to be on my own. So religion had me just doing the same thing, going to church, doing the things that, I was asked to, I was taught to. There were some things that I was told that I questioned. Is this how God is? There should be more to him and everything. But of course, coming from Nigeria, where your parents are mostly always right, there are things you don't even ask. My father was kind of lenient. You could ask him, things. But with my mom, oh my God, she was firm. So I went on, doing everything against what they had taught me, actually, because I wanted to test the waters, right? But something happened while I was in my second year of junior high. My friends would call me. My friends called me, and they were like, Sanmi, where do you usually go during break time? I was like, I don't think you'd be interested in that. They were like, try us. So I told them I usually go and sit, alone somewhere because there's a church close by and I love the way they sing. It just transports me to a different place. I love how it felt anytime I listen to worship songs. So that day they went with me and I was singing with them. And what I noticed was 5 of them started speaking in tongues. They spoke in tongues for the very first time. They didn't understand what was happening. The atmosphere changed, like something had come in. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't do this. They were like, Sanmi, we love this. Let's continue. Well, I ran away. I didn't go back because I'm like, how do I lead these people? I'm not even born again. I was doing religion then. Then I ran. For so long, they were like, Sanmi, let's do this. We can start a fellowship. I'm like, no. Because I had not found Jesus. I had not, I wasn't in a relationship with Jesus. I love the idea of being a Christian, being called a Christian, because I was born into it. I went on with life, just going to church, doing religious activities and everything. And then, I got married, I relocated here and all sorts. And then today, made it 2 years that I had an encounter. Before then, I had been told, I have a calling after my father. And I didn't take it serious because I'm like, no, I don't want to be a minister. But something happened that made me choose relationship over religion, because God showed me a different side of him that is possible. It's a different thing when people are telling you testimonies, things that has happened, in their lives, or pastors are saying it in church, and you're like, yeah, I hear you, but is this really true? Can God really do this? We read things in the Bible. You're like, where is it? It's like that song that says, God can do it again and again and again. It's the same God today as he always has been. yesterday and today and forever still the same. There's no reason to doubt. God can do it again. Yeah, the song is good, but I need more. People are going through stuff. People are sick. People are depressed. Where is the God that we read in the Bible? I want to see him in action. I would say that I was going to a different church and they will worship it to get to a stage. I'll be feeling it and then they will just cut it off and I'll be like, oh my God, why? I want more. I wanted more for so long. But God showed himself to me because he heard me. And that changed my perspective. That moved me from being in religion to having a relationship. So today, February 10th, 2022, I was in my office. And then a friend sent me a message bidding the world farewell. She's in Nigeria. She thanked me for everything I'd done for her. She wished she could repay me back. But she said, Sanmi, today is my last day. She gave me her mom's number. She said, please help me take care of my kids. I later found out that I was the third person she sent that message to. She explained what had been happening to me. She had traumatic brain injury. So for 3 days, she had some do's and don'ts. She has been on medication for some years, and everything. But she has 2 little kids who are like under 8 years of age. And the doctor said, don't scream, don't run, don't stress. Excuse me? Is that even possible? So, but for 3 days, what she didn't tell me was she couldn't sleep for 72 hours. Not only was she not sleeping, she was in pain. She said, Sanmi, the only explanation I could give you was they had put my head in a mortar. I don't know, maybe you know it, but in Nigeria, to pound the pounded yam, if you want to pound yam, that's where you put the yam into, the cooked yam into, and you use the pesto to pound it. She said, they are pounding my head for 3 days. So she was screaming of pain. She had gone to the hospital many times. They couldn't find a cure. All medications, nothing was working. So she told me she had given her life to Jesus, and she believes, it's the end, because for 3 days, no sleep, intense pain, no moment where she didn't experience pain. So I was in my office upstairs, and I didn't know what was about to happen. I didn't know what would happen. That day would change my life forever, because I was trying to take a picture of my products to post on my business page on Facebook. Then I heard a voice. How dare you want to take a life that you did not create? And I looked around. Nobody was in the house. My office door was closed. What happened? And I sensed that was God speaking to me. Then I started calling my friend because I responded. I was like, your confession is your possession. Do not confess negatively. You're not going to die. But she was like, Sanmi, this is serious. This is it. She said life was going out of her. She had texted her older brother in UK. She had texted her best friend in Chicago here, just thanking them, just rounding up. And she said, Sanmi, I would love you to be the last person I speak to before I die. So if you see that I'm not responding anymore, then that's it, I'm gone. And she said, Jesus is the only way. So immediately I heard the voice. I kept calling her. I was calling and I was texting. You need to pick your call. I need you to pick your call. She was like, Sanmi, just give up. This is it. She said, this is it. I can't get out of bed for 3 days. I can't sleep. I can't eat anything. I can't drink anything. She said, Sanmi, this is it. She said, I've given my life to Jesus. I know I'm going to make it to heaven. That is it. So I kept calling her and I said, there's an emergency on your life. The devil and Jesus, who is going to win? I said, I need you to listen to me. I don't need you to talk. But I need you to listen because I've worked at the hospital before. I know when people are dying, the last thing that leaves them is their hearing. They can still hear you even when they can't talk. Even sometimes when you see tears, because they might be like, oh, so I'm leaving my loved ones. So I called, and the 10th time my friend picked up, and she was screaming, my head, oh my God, my head, oh my God. She couldn't even hold any conversation, no greeting, nothing. And that day, all I know how to do best is sing. And I started. You can do it once again. One more time. You can do it once again. Lord Josie, as you've done in the olden days. As you've done in the upper room. You can do it once again. One more time. All I did was sing. Each song I sang was powerful. And it got to heaven. I kept on singing. The next song, it's an abomination for Jesus to reign and the devil to reign at the same time. In your life, it's an abomination for Jesus to reign and the devil to reign at the same time. Remember, I was doing religion, right? I sang that song 3 times. I sang another one. Whoever has decided to kill you will die in your stead. I sang that one 3 times. I kept singing. But when the Spirit of the Lord has come down, on the day of Pentecost, the time of wait is over, for they were all filled with the Spirit. Send your power, Lord. Send your power, Lord. Let it baptize us. I kept singing. And I'm telling you, my friend started calming down. I didn't know what was going on. At the 7th minute, she started puking. I kept singing. There was no hello, because it was a case of emergency. But that day, he did it. That very day, 7 minutes, she puked everything that was in her body that was supposed to make her die. Came out. And she slept for the first time. For 12 hours straight. She slept for 12 hours. When this girl woke up, the first thing, because I sent her messages, are you okay? What's the situation now? She didn't respond. And I sent out prayers to my friends who are ministers. And I said, my friend must not die. If truly there's a God in heaven, today, I put him to test. Today, I can't lose my friend. My friend must not die. And they started praying too. And I remember posting on my Facebook page, I need prayers for my friend who told me she was actively dying. I cannot lose her. That day I remember the times she has helped me. She has been there for me. I remembered everything and I said, no, devil, not on this one. You will not take her. Because I had a voice. And to the glory of God, this girl sent me a message 12 hours later. She was like, Sanmi, I didn't die. Sanmi, I'm here. Sanmi, I'm better. Sanmi, I'm alive. And I'm like, and she was like, and I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Are you okay? She said, I'm better. I don't have headache anymore. Nothing. Sanmi, I slept for 12 hours. Can you believe that? Sanmi, I did not die. Then she said, Sanmi, go and answer the calling. I was like, which calling? All I did was sing. She said, no. She said, while you were singing, Sanmi, I saw angels in heaven with different musical instruments playing. And there was fountain of water that came from heaven. It poured on my head. It was cold. It calmed me down. The next thing, when it got to my belly, I puked everything I had been given in the dream. Because she told me she had a series of dreams before then where she was being fed some poisons. She said, Sanmi, I puked everything and I was able to sleep. She had 3 different dreams during the 12 hours, which she told me. She saw different animals trying to attack her. She told me, but she killed them. 2 ran away. Then she saw an old woman on the rock dead. She and her kids walked by. My friend is alive today. She said, Sanmi, go and answer the call. There's something in your voice. There's something in your voice. You know, before I was singing in the kitchen, I would just sing for fun. But that very day, my perception of God and who He is changed. Totally different from the religion I had practiced because I was born into it. Now I want to know more about this God that has done this. Now I want a relationship because of what God did that day, the miracle that happened that day. I started reading my Bible on my own. I didn't fast for over 10 years. I started fasting because I want to lean in more. I want more. I want more. Because there's always more, right? We were made for more. There's always more from where this came from. God gave me a Bible passage, Jeremiah 1:5, that says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I've called you as a prophet to the nations. And I'm like, okay, me a prophet? Well, if you're going to back me up, I will do it. And the way I see God changed from that day. And I'm telling you, from that day till today, it has been an amazing journey because He has done way more than my expectations. One thing I notice is this. When all we're doing is religion, we'll just do things. Oh, if you do this, it's going to be like this. But no, if you have a relationship with God, it's going to change the way you talk to Him. It's going to change the things you ask for because He's your Father. You can ask for anything. But you also have to know there are things He will say, yes, I got you. You can take it because it is right for you. There are things He will say, no, because He knows more than us, right? He knows the things that if He gives it to you, it will destroy you. So He will say no. And at times He will say, wait, you're not matured enough to handle this kind of blessings that you're asking for. Some of us are asking for money. You want more money. You want more money. But if God is here saying, what do you want more money for? It's like, I want to buy a Porsche. I want to buy $1 million house. I want to buy this and that. All those things are good. But have you thought of helping the widows? Have you thought of helping the orphans? Have you thought of helping special need children and their parents who are doing so much for these kids? See, a friendship that has not been tested cannot be trusted. So if you are asking for blessings so much, God is thinking, can I invest in you? Will these blessings that you're asking me for not be the end of you? Will you be able to manage it well? So there's a process whereby we have to constantly show that we are matured enough to handle the kind of blessings we're asking for. So when he says wait, it's because he wants to be sure. We won't blame him like Adam did and said, the wife you gave me. Like, I didn't ask you for a wife, but you thought it well to give me a wife. Now she gave me the apple. He never took responsibility. So we do the same thing most times. We don't want to take responsibilities for the mess we cause. So God is saying, I want to be sure you are matured enough to handle this. I don't have a problem giving it to you. I'm your father, and I know everything, and I own everything. I can make you have miracle money where you don't even expect. But will you be able to use it for the things that I love? Will you be able to help those in your family that are struggling? Will you be able to help use it to propagate the message of the kingdom? Will you be able to use it to pay for someone's medical bills? Will you be able to positively change the world with what you're asking for? I don't have a problem giving it to you. It's like if you have a lot of money and you have kids, you're not going to think of handling your wealth to kids, to any child, that will just squander the money because you worked for the money. You're going to put them to test, and that's what he does sometimes. So it's not about him. It's about, are you ready to handle what you're asking for? Won't you forget your source? So relationship will make you see more of, okay, what do I need to do? Because relationship is partnership. Remember? It's not just, oh, this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. But if I want this, what am I doing in return? Like we have friends that when we go a mile for them, we're expecting, even if they can't go a mile, let them go halfway for us. Right? And if I'm the one always doing for my friends, and I don't see them even texting back, or being reliable, or caring for me, even if it's not up to, what I'm doing for them, I'll feel a certain way. Like, am I the only one in this friendship? Am I the only one in this relationship? The same way with God. He wants to know, are you truly in this relationship because of what you can get, or because you truly, truly love me? He knows my name. He knows your name. He knows my every need. He sees each tear that falls, and he's me when I call. He wants a relationship with you where he will be able to show you most